The Good Samaritan. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a kind man named Jesus. He loved to tell stories to teach people about kindness and love. One day, Jesus told a story about a Good Samaritan. In a small village, there was a man who had to travel to a big city called Jericho. The road to Jericho was long and dangerous, full of twists, turns, and scary places where robbers like to hide. Even though it was risky, the man decided to go because he had important things to do in Jericho. As he walked along the dusty road, he was suddenly attacked by a group of robbers. They took all his money, beat him up, and left him lying on the side of the road, hurt and alone. The man was too weak to call for help, and he felt very scared. After a while, a priest came walking down the road. A priest is someone who works in a temple and teaches people about God. Surely, the hurt man thought the priest would help him. But when the priest saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and walked away quickly. He didn't stop to help. A little later, a Levite came by. Levites were special people who helped in the temple, and they knew a lot about God's rules. The hurt man thought, "This Levite will help me." But the Levite also crossed to the other side of the road and hurried away, leaving the man alone. The man felt very sad and hopeless. But then he heard footsteps coming closer. A Samaritan was walking down the road. Now, people from the hurt man's village didn't like Samaritans. They often argued and didn't get along. The hurt man worried that the Samaritan would not help him because of these old disagreements. But the Samaritan was different. When he saw the hurt man, he felt sorry for him. He didn't think about the arguments between their villages. Instead, he thought about how much the man needed help. He went over to the hurt man, gently cleaned his wounds, and bandaged them. The Samaritan lifted the hurt man onto his own donkey and walked beside him until they reached an inn. An inn is like a small hotel where travelers can rest. The Samaritan took the man inside, cared for him, and made sure he was comfortable. The next morning, the Samaritan needed to continue his journey. But before he left, he gave the innkeeper some money. He said, "Please take care of this man. Here is some money to pay for his stay and food. If you spend more than this, I will pay you back when I return." The innkeeper agreed, and the Samaritan went on his way. The hurt man was amazed by the kindness of the Samaritan. He had expected to be left alone, but instead, a stranger had shown him great love and care. When Jesus finished telling the story, he asked the people, "Which of these three do you think was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by robbers?" The people listening to Jesus said, "The one who showed mercy." Jesus smiled and said, "Go and do the same." He wanted everyone to understand that being a good neighbor means showing kindness and love to everyone, no matter where they come from or what they look like. From that day on, the people who heard Jesus' story tried to be more like the Good Samaritan. They helped others, showed kindness, and cared for those in need. They learned that love and compassion can bring people together, even those who were once enemies. And so, the story of the Good Samaritan spread far and wide, teaching children and adults alike that everyone can be a good neighbor. All it takes is a kind heart and a willingness to help those in need. Conclusion. The story of the Good Samaritan teaches us that we should always be ready to help others, no matter who they are or where they come from. It doesn't matter if someone looks different from us or if we don't know them well. What matters is showing love and kindness to everyone in need. Dear God, thank you for teaching us the story of the Good Samaritan. Help us to be kind and loving to everyone we meet. Give us the courage to help others, even when it's not easy. Help us to be good neighbors, just like the Good Samaritan. Amen.
On the road to Jericho, a man walked all alone. Robbers came and hurt him, left him with a moan. A priest came by but walked away, didn't lend a hand. Then a Levite passed him too, didn't understand. Be like a good Samaritan, show love and care. Help those in need, always be there. Kindness and mercy Let's give them a start. Be like the Good Samaritan with a loving heart. Then along came a Samaritan who saw the man in pain. He stopped and helped him in the sun and rain. He bandaged up his wounds, put him on his ride, took him to an inn and stayed by his side. Be like the Good Samaritan, show love and care, help those in need, always be there. Kindness and mercy, let's give them a start. Be like the Good Samaritan with a loving heart. Doesn't matter who they are or where they're from, show them love and kindness to everyone. Jesus taught us how to live with love so true, so let's be kind and caring in all we do. Be like the Good Samaritan, show love and care, help those in need, always be there. Kindness and mercy, let's give them a start. Be like the Good Samaritan with a loving heart. With a loving heart. So remember the story from long ago. Be a friend to others, let your kindness show. With a heart full of love and hands ready to share, we can be like the Samaritan, showing God's care.